for the record, this is the BUEA meeting for September 10th, 2025, and we are starting at 12:02 p.m.
So we need to do a roll call. Phil, do you want to start?
Oh, Phil Emerson, BUEA.
Michael Hover, BUEA.
Kate Rosenbarger, BUEA.
Heather Robinson, BUEA.
Jane Cooper Smith, BUEA.
D. De La Rosa, BUEA ESD.
Jessica McClellan, City Controller.
Virginia Gatheri, BUEA.
Elisa Spinelli, BEUA.
And Javon?
Oh, sorry, did I misspeak?
Nah.
You're good. I will introduce Javon Whitmill. He is my O'Neill Fellow for the next 2 years, so he'll be sitting in on the BUEA meetings regularly. So.
Welcome. All right. Good deal. Let's see. We do need approval of minutes from the August meeting. Did anyone have any questions, comments, corrections to the minutes? Anything? If none, do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll motion to approve.
And do we have a second?
Second.
And we'll need to do a roll call for approval on the minutes. Phil, do you want to start us again?
Yes.
Michael Hover, yes.
Kate Rosenbarger, yes.
Heather Robinson, yes.
Jane Cooper Smith, yes. Virginia Gatheri, yes.
Elisa Spinelli, yes.
Okay. Motion carries and passes. Thank you. D, Director's Report.
Sure. So it is a pretty short director's report, but I'll stretch it as long as I can since we're waiting for Brad. So the first item is that I met with Ivy Tech and SBDC about a strategic plan for the BUEA. It was really great to be able to sit down with a group of people and have them ask questions, because you can sit in a room and try and think of a plan, but until you have an outside perspective, it really is hard to form one. So the plan that we drafted out is for the next 12 months. It's a lot of administrative things, so it is getting things organized on my end, as far as marketing and bolstering the board's income stream, which kind of go hand in hand, because if people don't know about the incentives that we have, they aren't able to contribute to the pool of money that we have. So a lot of it is getting us more forward facing. I'm pretty excited about it. There is some more board participation within that. So it'll be getting the members of the board more engaged with the community as much as we can, following the open door policy and not having all the board members at one place and having to call public meetings. But I'm pretty excited about it. I'm pretty excited about the idea of moving forward with larger initiatives, like when we help CDFI friendly become CDFI friendly. So really getting us more involved, not just within the zone, but having larger initiatives that could potentially affect the entire city as well. So really exciting to move forward with that. I'm hoping to have that draft of that plan in front of you within the next few months, so we can start some of the marketing stuff. Is an initiative that I've been working on for a while, which fits into the plan, which will start January 1st, regardless of whether the board approves of this strategic plan, because the board has approved marketing in the past. So I don't know if anybody has any questions about that.
I actually was just wondering, and I think it's a great idea to have more of a strategic plan for the board. I think that we've seen growth in the organization, and when I say growth, the interest in grants. We've had greater applications, which is wonderful. Businesses and nonprofits and individuals are becoming more aware of the BUA and what's available to them. And I know we've also had some kind of tough questions in front of us too about boundaries of the zone and different things like that. So I wonder through this strategic plan if, and again, I know time is difficult for everyone, if we should have maybe a special strategic planning meeting, like call a meeting when we could, try to meet everyone's calendars for maybe a 90-minute meeting or something to really talk about the strategic direction of the BUEA and how that, kind of aligns with our mission, well, definitely aligns with our mission, but can also fit within what the overall city's goals are as well. I think there's some, there's some symbiotic relationship pieces there. I think what we're trying to accomplish as an organization, of course, goes into the bigger picture of what the city is. So I think just having a conversation, potentially a special meeting to talk about a strategic plan. And do we need to look at updating the bylaws and how would that work? And what, if we made updates, what would those updates be? And so to have a special meeting specifically where we carve out the time to only focus on that, I'm just throwing that out there. I know Dee is still in the process of just getting kind of a draft for us, but I just wanted to maybe throw that out there and see how others feel about the possibility of that.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree, and I think that would lead to us more supporting me because she has to work on this more than one time a month. So us spending the time to make up a meeting, to fit our schedule, of course, but to support her doing her process would be very helpful.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and how can the board be more engaged in those efforts as well to, raise awareness and different things like that? So I think it could be a good opportunity to just kind of look at a more a specific strategic plan and have some change-ups to the bylaws or whatnot if we think that makes sense for the organization at this point. So.
Next, all of the documents have been submitted to Catalent Novo Nordisk. We had a slight reversal of a couple numbers on one of the credit memos. I put down $1.71 instead of $1.17. So that held up the process. So I apologize for that clerical error, but now we're just waiting for the payout. So that is on track. I do have plans to have a draft budget prepared for the October meeting with some of the changes that we will be speaking about today as far as the RF loan conversion, which I believe that via this process will probably not hit our books until 2026. So I will be drafting that into the budget as we've discussed it prior to. And then just some minor adjustments as far as how we've been spending grant money. I think we got rid of a lot of building improvement money this year, so maybe readjusting some of those to keep the overall amount the same, but just kind of putting it in different areas. And Holly and I are going to be working on a detailed arts budget. I feel like annually we've kind of been like, oh, well, there's like zone art grants and then there's city art grants, but what are they really? So really defining those lines so it's much easier for the board to have some transparency for the board to see where that money is actually going and who we're giving it to and where we're putting it within the zone. So. And then I wrote down in my director's report that there was no change to the budget and grant disbursements. That's not true. Let me pull that up so you guys can see the change that I have in that. And I guess I need to share my screen. Duh. So, although it's not been dispersed, I have accounted for in our business building improvement line the $10,000 to the warehouse that we awarded last week. So as you can see, we have expended and overexpended that line in our grants budget. I will be considering moving maybe a little bit from the accessibility modification and the safety and security, or I'm sorry, not safety and security, the business and community support into building improvement, as those were two lines that we just haven't fully expended.
Right. So when you say move money, are you suggesting?
For 2026.
Oh, thank you.
For 2026,
Thank
not
you.
not for this year.
Okay, thank you.
No, because if we overexpend in a line, I'd like to know for 2026 so I can adjust the numbers for 2026.
Yes.
So we should just spend out what we can,
Yes.
however, and then we make the adjustments for next year.
Agreed. I think that that's helpful to see the overs and unders in the budget that we originally set, which will be a tool to help you set the 2026 budget. Yeah.
And that is it for me, unless the board has any questions or would like any updates on anything else that might be going on.
That's great.
I think
Thanks.
next month we're gonna get that updated financial report.
Yes,
Yeah.
we were just waiting on one document, and that Cheryl needed to run the full report, but it'll be a quarterly report, so
Right.
it'll be everything
Yeah.
for Q3, so
Sweet.
we'll be set on that. I do have a quick question for Alex. We have, so we're moving into the portion about the RRF loans. Do I need Felisa and Virginia to step away from the table? Do they have to leave, or can we wait till the vote? Because they hold RRF loans.
I think it's fine for them to stay.
Okay, for the conversation, just not for the vote. Okay. All right.
Sorry, just to clarify, and they participate in the conversation or listen to it? Okay.
Yeah. So, Felisa and Virginia, you can stay, you just can't participate in the conversation?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. So I am done, and I'm gonna hand it over to Controller McClellan.
Hi, everybody. Dee and I worked together and reviewed what Dee worked out for a loan forgiveness program for the RRF loans. And we reviewed those together, and we talked kind of about the pros and cons of forgiving those loans. And like from the city's perspective, we think that it's okay for like this nonprofit to forgive your loans, and that the loan program was it had some challenges anyway to begin with, as far as just administering it. It's hard to administer a loan program, and that we think that we, the city, and me, the controller, this process looks very fair and equitable to businesses. They're going to demonstrate, they're going to ask for forgiveness, they're going to apply for that forgiveness, and they're going to supply some information that the board can review. I assume there's a review process, and then
Yes.
everybody will have the chance to sign off on whether or not those loans are forgiven, and we think it's a really good process. I'm really just here to lend my support to this application process and answer any questions that you have. I don't really have much of a presentation prepared, but I think that if you have any questions, that will really guide some good conversation about it.
You mentioned not-for-profits. It's being available to everyone, not just not-for-profits, right?
Oh, yes, us as a non-for-profit.
Gotcha.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
want to make sure it's everybody
Yeah.
included.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's been a point of everything we've been talking about recently, is treating businesses like businesses, not one or the other. So,
Right.
okay,
Right.
good enough.
And you use the word forgiveness here. I think ultimately what this will be, as I read through this, is a conversion. So it's not necessarily, I mean, it is, I guess, forgiving the loan in the sense that those that apply and that are approved will no longer have that debt responsibility. But from the perspective of our organization, we're converting these to grants.
Yes.
So just for the record, I want to clarify that this is actually a conversion from a loan to a grant.
I think that's a very good point to make.
Okay,
Yeah,
so.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and so that therefore would hit our income statement differently as opposed to bad debt
Right.
versus
Yeah.
grants. And
Right.
so this would be a new line item to our income statement showing that these are actually now grants.
So Heather, bad, or Jessica, bad debt would hang around, but this is getting converted from an asset to a grant that we're paying out, and then it'll disappear after it.
Right, so it's just like we're taking it from the balance sheet and we're gonna put it on our income statement and we're gonna call it grants as opposed to an allowance for, you know, or write-offs or whatever you might wanna refer to it otherwise. And then, it will, once that hits the income statement, it will not any longer be on our balance sheet. For those that qualify, I should say, right? I'm correct in that.
What were the original repayment terms on these?
So the loan originally, the money was granted in 2020, and then there was an extension given in 2021, I believe.
I can speak to that.
Yeah, please do.
So they were issued in 2020, like summer of 2020. There was initially supposed to be a 6-month grace period where there were no loan repayments. And then that grace period was extended to 12 months. And I think it was ultimately extended to 2 years. And so repayments started in summer 2022. And then the loans themselves, I think, were extended to be 4 years from that 2022 start date.
2026, yeah.
To 2026.
So presumably some of these loans are nearly repaid. Is that?
There are a good portion of loans that are nearly repaid. Within the BUEA, yes, we do have a few loans that are close to being paid off. We do have an additional portion that are not being paid back at all because of dissolution of businesses, various other
Delinquent.
reasons. I'm sorry?
Or they're delinquent.
Or they're
in payments,
delinquent
yeah.
payments, so.
And then
And-
some businesses early on, the program was originally created to be bridge funds while people awaited their federal COVID
PPP
support,
or-
yeah. But they held on to it longer, so, a few businesses did immediately repay when they, got their PPP forgiveness. So there's some ones that are paid off that way.
In the chart, it says fully repaid borrowers or near completion are ineligible. So what is the near completion amount? Or like, how are you, I guess, determining that part? It's in the eligibility matrix. Yeah, the third or the last row.
Numbers on that I haven't determined necessarily because I haven't looked at other programs that would mirror something like this. I would think that anything at or under 10% would be probably wouldn't qualify because I mean that's almost paying off the loan.
I can make a recommendation for the program there. I think if you just limit it to loan fully repaid is not eligible for forgiveness, because if someone is 90% repaid and they're financially, and they're healthy, they will not be able to demonstrate need anyway.
Sure.
So I think it just doesn't need to be mentioned in
Okay.
that part of the
Okay.
matrix. Does that?
Yeah,
Do
I
you
think it
agree?
makes it
Yeah.
less
Okay.
right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would agree on that, because some of the businesses are paying on schedule, can fully pay, wouldn't qualify, and they'll just finish out the term of the loan and that'll be that, you know, so.
But is there some demonstration of hardship required here? I mean, if I just
Yes.
simply just didn't pay my loan back,
So
am I gonna be eligible even though someone who did pay,
Right.
it's
So
no benefit here.
that was something that we had a lot of discussions about, and I think that might have been right before you jumped on the board. Oh no, you're fine. I'm happy to explain. So in response to that, I've created the draft of the application for your approval. It has pretty basic information at the beginning, just who you are, what's your business, all of that. The details of your loan, and then application rationale is kind of the meat of the whole thing, where it's a statement of need. It is supporting documentation of financial documents. Jessica, he may not have that.
Is it in the packet?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. So financial documents, so profit and loss statements, tax returns, bank account, balance sheet, any official financial document that would indicate that there is some type of hardship. And then, or if not that, proof of dissolution. Because that is an excellent way to show that you cannot pay this loan back for this business. Additionally, if you are out of business, there needs to be some type of dissolution with the state, so that these don't end up being liens or anything worse on a former business owner. Additionally, with confidentiality, we can make sure that the personal information is redacted. There are only going to be a few people looking at these loans. I've reached out to John Zodi from CDFI Friendly and Steve Bishop from First Financial Bank to be the reviewers of these applications, just to take it out of my hands, the board's hands, just two objective reviewers of the applications. I will be removing and redacting all of the information from the loans except for the pertinent information for hardship. So we just have the most fair and objective view.
I get
So timeline on this, I think the information here, I think as it was put together originally was suggesting it would happen this year. I think you're looking at this happening early next year. I mean, by the
Yes.
time it moves through the process. Okay. So I think from that perspective, then it makes sense for it to be part of the 2026 budget.
Mhm.
We wouldn't be an amendment to our budget for this year. It would
Right,
be,
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, something for next year, D, that you would put in a line item for it,
Mhm.
whatever they've listed here for it. With I know it'll be something of an estimate, but to at least put some kind of a estimate in there, or
Absolutely.
so we'll have some sense of what that impact will be for next year.
And with that, I think that's my entire program. So if there are any additional questions or
So do we need to vote on
Concerns.
this to
I'm
move this forward, or where are we on
yes,
this?
I think that we need an official vote to move forward with the application process to be able to get borrowers so I can issue this, move this forward. This is going to be an online application through Civiform. It will only be available to those within the guidelines of, only BUEA loan holders, kind of the same way people apply for our other grants. But it's much easier to be able to manage these via online, and probably much easier for people to be willing to apply. One of my concerns is that people might not be willing to apply if they have to show up in person with things, or business owners don't want to show that they are struggling, and understandably so. So I think that an online application is best. So with a vote, I can move forward to pushing this to ITS and getting them to put it on civil form. We can get these applications out there and start the process.
May I ask another process question? So the reviewers, excuse me, there are 2 outside reviewers, and they will review conversion applications, and then they'll make a recommendation to the board, and then the board will determine, the board will up or down vote. I guess I'm just wondering if there should be one board member. Okay, you don't want to have a committee of 2 because there can be a deadlock, so you want 3, and
I was
there's
wondering
not
about that too.
board
That's a good point.
visibility, and so
That's a
I
good
just
point, Jenny.
wonder if, and I don't, I think I'm too close to this project, I don't think I'm a good person, but I just wondered if somebody might want to
I don't
be
mind.
on that review committee,
I don't mind doing that.
and that can represent the
Yeah.
board.
I think that's a good point.
That puts a non-banker with 2
Sure.
bankers, which I think is a
Great.
good balance. Or it's
Yeah.
good to have another voice.
Yeah, I don't think John Jody would call himself a banker.
Yeah. Oh, John is reviewing too, so
Yeah.
it's John, Steve.
So,
Okay,
yeah, so John has CDFI, friendly executive director, banker, and then I think a board member. I think that'd be great
fine.
to have.
thanks for that.
Sorry to ask this question, but then is it 3 white men on
Oh,
the
that's a
board?
great
Is
point.
that who's reviewing
I guess
at
didn't know
that
who
point?
it was at first, but.
Sorry, yeah. I think about that, I guess,
That's
just.
good.
That's fair.
point.
That is
Because I looked
absolutely fair.
around and I'm like, I feel like we're the only women who aren't abstaining from it, you know, like.
I mean, I'm a finance person. I could be a part of that
Balance it out.
if we need to, but I don't want to not invite somebody who wants to be part of that. I mean,
By all means.
so I could review
Shit to twist
as
your-
well if you want me to. I
I
would
would
do it.
appreciate that, yeah.
I'm a numbers person, so from that perspective at least, it won't be unfamiliar to look at financial documents and so forth.
Thank you very much.
Good.
Sorry,
Good
is that,
thinking.
okay, yeah.
Thank
That was
you.
great.
I didn't know everybody, I don't know
Appreciate
Steve,
it.
but
Foresight.
okay.
That's what we need.
Okay, so, we need, a vote to approve the overall program
Yep.
with the application and adding Heather as, the board member as a reviewer.
I'll move that.
Second.
And we'll need a roll call on that.
Bill Emerson, yes.
Michael Hover, yes.
Kate Rosenberger, yes?
Heather Robinson, yes?
Jane Cooper Smith, yes?
Brad Whistler, yes.
Can we get our abstentions?
Do they need to,
Do they need to recuse themselves out really? No?
You just said what, I'm sorry?
Abstain.
Oh, okay, okay, Virginia Gatheri abstained.
Oh, Felissa, can you abstain for us?
Abstain, Felicia Spinelli.
All right, thank you all so very much.
gee, it looks like there's somebody in the waiting room. I don't know, Eric? Maybe?
Yeah.
There's someone there.
Yep.
Yeah,
God, I'm sorry about that, Eric.
Yeah.
All right.
Good work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really glad to see this come to fruition.
yeah.
Thank you.
We've been talking about it for like 2.5 years. So.
Yeah, I really appreciate your patience and Controller McClellan's support and Jane's support on all of this, and all of you, thank you so much. And I'm glad that we can do this for some folks, for sure.
Good plan.
With that, on to unfinished business. I mean, this is real early. I didn't think that was gonna happen so fast.
I thought it was gonna be a quick one, yeah.
No one
Yeah.
minds having time back in their schedules. So
Yeah.
Is there anything for the good of the order?
I thought there was something last month that we didn't vote on. and
We're
we were
waiting on the financials for the church
Yes.
facade work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. That's it.
Yep.
Good of the order.
Meeting adjourned. adjourn then.
All right, thank you all so much.
Nobody.